gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
We have to get to more breaking news. Indiana State Police just announced the arrest of a woman who'd been on the run for 2 years after her son's body was found dead in a suitcase in southern Indiana.
Yeah, investigators say they now have the mother of Cairo Jordan in custody.
Woo! So guys, I covered this story years ago. So for all my day ones, y'all remember this. I love giving updates. Obviously, this is a very tragic story. But I love giving updates on these stories because it provides context. When I first did this story, we were hypothesizing who did it. You know, was it a white guy? Was it a black guy? It's in Indiana. Oh, it can't be no ninjas because it's in Indiana, right? That's what people were saying in the comments section when I did the video. But unfortunately, it was a super single mother sister gremlin on demon time. And she put her child in a suitcase and left them for dead by an elevator. This is how demented, this is how sick these women are. And you have women in the comment section of like black blogs saying, this is why abortion needs to be available and readily available for all women, and this is why abortion is so important. So their solution to a woman killing her child is to kill the child earlier? These people are sick.
So Karen Campbell joins us in studio right now. And how did investigators find her?
Yeah, well, investigators say it led to a tip. Someone just calling in saying, hey, we have information on where this person is. And we're talking about DeJuane Anderson. Of course, this is a day authorities say they have been waiting for so long. Finding the person they say is responsible for killing 5-year-old Cairo Jordan. And state police say Anderson is now in a California.
A 5-year-old boy. She stuffed a 5-year-old boy in a suitcase. And this is the woman. And they want us to cuff this. This is what these single mother heifers are doing nowadays. I mean, it's not all, obviously, but it's enough to move the needle and be like, damn, these women are crashing out. These super single mother sister gremlins are on demon time.
Jail charged with 3 felonies, including murder. In April of 2022, police say a mushroom hunter found a brightly colored suitcase in a wooded area in rural Washington County. Cairo's body was inside. A woman named Dawn Coleman was charged and sentenced to 30 years in prison for her role in helping to dispose of the body. Now, court documents show Coleman claims Anderson talked about her son being possessed as they got into a car and then drove to Indiana to dump the suitcase.
Wow. So she talked about her son being possessed, when in fact, she is the one who was possessed. You can't make this stuff up, guys. I mean, these hoes are dangerous, bro. Honestly.
Leading authorities searching for answers.
It's still a somber day, but we're very, very pleased and happy that we have who we believe everybody to be involved in this tragic murder case in custody.
Now, Anderson will eventually be brought back to Indiana. And coming up at 5, you're going to hear how authorities tracked down Anderson and how they eventually brought her into custody.
Okay. Thanks for bringing us this story. It was shocking from the first report.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Captured a lot of attention. All right,
It
Karen,
sure did.
we'll look for more later. Thank you.
Nearly 2 years after being charged with murder, the mother of a boy found dead in a suitcase in southern Indiana is now arrested. In April 2022, mushroom hunters found the body of 5-year-old Cairo Jordan in the woods in Washington County. It was inside this Las Vegas branded suitcase that he was found. According to court documents, Cairo was killed in Kentucky. Police later announced that his mother, DeJuane Anderson of Atlanta, was charged with murder. Today, Indiana State Police say she's been taken into custody in California. They say a detective received a tip earlier in the week that helped them locate her.
A huge milestone, a day that we're very happy that we've come to at this point. It's still a somber day, but we're very, very pleased and happy that we have who we believe everybody to be involved in this tragic murder case.
Indiana State Police say Anderson is being held at a jail in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, one person has already been sentenced for her part in Cairo's death. Dawn Coleman, who you see here, was sentenced to 30 years with 5 years suspended. That's after entering a plea agreement. Court documents say she admitted to helping Cairo's mother dispose of his body.
Wow.
Indiana State Police says arresting DeJuane Anderson is something they've been looking forward to and anticipating. And on Thursday, she was located in Arcadia, California. The nationwide manhunt for DeJuane Anderson, who was wanted in connection to her son, Cairo Jordan's 2022 murder, is over. Indiana State Police announced Friday that nearly 2 years after a mushroom hunter found Jordan's lifeless body in a suitcase in the woods of southern Indiana, U.S. Marshals arrested Anderson in California.
Wow.
ISP says a concerned citizen tipped off the lead detective on her whereabouts.
She is currently being held at a Los Angeles Police Department detention center in Van Nuys, California.
ISP Sergeant Carrie Hull says investigators are headed to the West Coast to talk to Anderson and possibly bring her back to Indiana. And after the other suspect in this case, Dawn Coleman, was sentenced to 25 years in prison in November, authorities believe everyone involved in the 5-year-old's murder is in custody.
Wow, man. And these women are in cahoots to delete children and conceal of their remains. I mean, it's sickening to my stomach. This is what is going on in the community. I'm telling y'all, I've been covering this type of stuff for years now, and we're just not getting that traction and that real, I don't know, awareness that we need to make a difference. So guys, you have to share these videos, you have to cop the merch, you have to support the channel. Turn on your bell notifications. I'm being severely stifled when it comes to my viewer count, likes, all that, comments. So we need the support because these stories are important. The follow-up videos are important. The context is extremely important.
It's a somber moment when you think back to the whole story, the whole case. I was in that area of the crime scene just last week, and it just brings back a lot of memories.
And Sergeant Hull says the big break also means a lot to the Washington County community, who came together amid tragedy to honor Jordan's young life.
Provided him with a funeral, with a headstone. There's still flowers to this day that are placed at his gravesite, and people praying for him and his family.
The apprehension of the prime suspect brings investigators one step closer to getting the 5-year-old the justice he deserves. In southern Indiana, Alexis Matthews, WOKY News.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Of killing her son, putting him in a suitcase and dumping him, is finally arrested right here in Southern California. Indiana police have been looking for that mom for 2 years. She was finally spotted on the border of Azusa and Arcadia. NBC4's Karma Dickerson is live now with more. Karma.
It's worth noting that they had been looking for this woman all over the country. They ended up finding her just over my shoulder. Towards the end of the Thursday evening commute.
And that's good police work for finding her, whatever jurisdiction this was in. So shout out to them. Arcadia Police Department. You guys are doing a damn thing, for sure.
Along a tucked away Metro light rail track in Azusa. A nearly 2-year-long manhunt came to an end.
A lot of sweat and blood and tears go in an investigation like this.
LAPD posted these photos showing the arrest of DeJuane Anderson, the woman accused of killing her son and stuffing his body into this suitcase in April of 2022. Investigators believe the little boy was killed in Kentucky and dumped in rural Indiana.
And on that date, a local mushroom hunter found a brightly colored suitcase with the Las Vegas motif in the wooded area in rural Washington County on Holder Road. Cairo was 5 years old at the time of his death. And since that date, our detectives have worked tirelessly to bring justice to this case and justice for Cairo.
Indiana State Police gave the details of Thursday's arrest, saying one of their detectives had gotten a tip about Anderson's whereabouts that led them to an LA suburb and to this metro station. U.S. Marshals and LA-based law enforcement, including LAPD and LA sheriffs, helped arrest her.
When she was located, she was attempting to board or in the process of boarding a subway, or I should say a form of public rail transportation.
Anderson is now the second person arrested for her son's death. Police tracked down the first, her friend Dawn Coleman, in San Francisco in October of 2022. Last fall, Coleman was sentenced to 30 years in prison for her role in the child's death.
It's still a somber day, but we're very, very pleased and happy that we have who we believe everybody to be involved in this tragic murder case in custody.
So what brought this Midwestern woman to Azusa? That much is still unclear. If she just happened to be in this neighborhood or whether she was staying around here. Investigators didn't go into a lot of details when it comes to that. She is now being taken to a facility by LAPD in Van Nuys. Now, how long she stays there, in some part, depends on her. Now, if she agrees to extradition, she can go back to Indiana pretty quickly. However, if she has to be formally extradited, it could take more than a month to get her back in Indiana. Reporting live from Azusa, Carmen Dickerson, NBC4 News.
Our top story here on the night team. After nearly 2 years on the run, a mother is under arrest tonight. And not just any mom. This woman accused of killing her young son and putting him in a suitcase, leaving it on the side of the road in a wooded area of southern Indiana. Police outside Los Angeles caught 38-year-old DeJuane Anderson and arrested her. She's being held without bond. WHS 11 Night Team's Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie found that the memory of Cairo Jordan is still strong in Salem, Indiana.
In a Salem, Indiana cemetery, the grave of a little boy, garnished in flowers and mementos, stands more peaceful than the night before.
Finally got closure for the little guy.
With an arrest made thousands of miles away.
That's not the way. Anyway, that's never the way.
Making ripples right here in this small town.
It's a good feeling, you know, that they finally got her behind bars.
After a nearly 2-year manhunt.
Still a sorrowful and a somber moment in the investigation.
Police have finally tracked down and arrested DeJuane Anderson, who police say killed her 5-year-old son, Cairo Amar Jordan. Wow. The boy who caught the nation's attention after a mushroom hunter discovered his lifeless body stuffed inside this suitcase in the spring of 2022.
I was just in Vegas a while before that and seeing those suitcases out there for sale, you know? And I'm like, oh man, and I shoved a child in there.
ISP Sergeant Kerry Holst says officers apprehended Anderson in the LA suburb of Arcadia, California, Wednesday night, based on a tip they received earlier in the week.
A huge milestone, a day that we're very happy that we've come to at this point. It's still a somber day, but we're very, very pleased and happy that we have who we believe everybody to be involved in this tragic murder case in custody at this time.
She is charged with murder, neglect of a dependent resulting in death, and obstruction of justice. All felony charges in connection with the death of her 5-year-old son, who a coroner ruled.
And these are supposed to be the nurturers. These are supposed to be the people who are great stewards of children. And these are the results that are being rendered. These super sister single mother gremlins are on demon time.
At the time died from an electrolyte imbalance. What does that mean to you?
Closure. Closure for him, the family, and everybody in this community.
ISP officers are on their way to California to bring back to Indiana as we speak. It's an arrest 2 years in the making for this town. From a little boy without a name to a gentle face that crosses the minds of Salem residents all the time.
Daily. They think about him all the time. They visit this grave at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Just an innocent child, just abused, I'd say. And I just couldn't believe that I heard that in our.
Yeah, and as you can see, I mean, is this not embarrassing for the community? You feel me?
Our area.
Inching closer to justice, this town now feels a sense of closure for its forever guardian angel. In Salem, Indiana, Connor Steffen, WHAS 11, on your side.
Now, one other woman has been arrested in this case, already been sentenced, in fact, in connection with Cairo's death. You're taking a look at her right here on your screen. This is Dawn Coleman. Last November, Dawn Coleman pleaded guilty to helping DeJuane Anderson kill Cairo and then hide his body. Coleman was sentenced to 25 years in prison and 5 years of probation last year. As part of her plea agreement, she will need to testify against Anderson in any criminal case related to Cairo's death.
Gang violence.